Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today we're discussing XELA stock, and the stock was up almost 50+%, and now it started coming down. But we got to deep dive in there and see what happened to the stock. Why did it rose that much? And is it going to stay there? Is it going to be able to hold that momentum? Or is it going to go even higher to $1? So let's figure this out. What happened? Why the stock went down to the first place in January? In January, they skipped their interest payment. The problem with skipping the interest payment is if you are a lender lending money to somebody and that person is supposed to pay you interest every month and they don't make that payment, you know what's going to happen? You would want your money back. In order for them to pay back, they would have to sell off their assets. So they had a real problem on hand, and their grace period was going to expire in February 16th. Today, they announced they got the new funding to be able to cover that interest payment. They got $51 million in new funding, and what do they say here? It says today they reported its subsidiaries had obtained $51 million in new funding from B. Riley Commercial Capital LLC. Okay. Now, why is this significant? Because if you look at their cash flow right now, right? Operating cash flow is negative $124 million. Even though it says 124,000, you got to times that with 1,000, it becomes negative $124 million. Investing cash flow is negative $22 million. Financing cash flow, this is how much money you would raise from issuing warrants, stocks, etc. This is all stock market. So $22 million from there. Now, they made some money off of the stocks, and cash position is $45 million. Now, if you do the math, right? If your expenses are $124 million, you only have money on hand is $45 million. Would you be able to survive a year? I doubt it. Okay. Your stock is going to go to zero. You're going to liquidate it. You're going to go home. What do they got? They got $50 additional $1 million. Okay. Now that put them to almost $90 million. The problem is their expenses are still really high, which is why, in my opinion, the stock will not be able to sustain the level that it reached today, because this supply level was from December last year. Okay. What supply level is, if the stock was to get to here, there's a lot of sellers sitting here trying to sell you the stock. So it's coming down. There's a demand level at 58 cents from January. Again, if it crosses that 58 cents, it's going down to 51 cents and eventually coming down to 47 cents. They got the funding, okay? It's going to give them the breathing room for next few days or maybe next few months. However, I think it's still going to hover between 40 cents and 50 cents or 56 cents or 60 cents probably. But I don't think it's going to $1 right now as of yet, unless with the money they would receive, they will pay the interest payment and they start making some progress where they show some demonstration on their financials. Maybe the first quarter earning will demonstrate how they're doing, or the second quarter will demonstrate how they're doing. But right now, the stock is hovering around this level that I'm talking about. Let's look at the institutional holdings. They're 10%, okay, which is a good thing, because if you look at Mullen stock, they're about 6%. So this is a lot greater than that stock. Is 10%. They believe in the company. But again, I think right now the determining factor is the quarter one earnings, how they do. When their 10Q comes out, let's see what's happening with that. Right now, I'm going to trade this stock as a trade, not an investment, because I think there's something to be proved here from the company perspective. Cash flow is not looking too great for this. They have to have enough cash to be able to spend that money. Even Mullen has enough cash to sustain for another 2 years. So they need to show that they have enough cash that, the stock is not going to go to a zero in anytime soon. So definitely check out this stock. And if you're new to the channel, do consider subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.